Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Family Sedan channel. I've got 3 stories to share with you in this latest room temperature jam. A CEO is trashing XRP as utterly useless. That's an actual quote, which is always hilarious to me. Coming from somebody who is apparently running a company and knocking one of the most widely adopted and useful cryptocurrencies in existence. Have you ever heard of Google before? Just type in XRP, check out some results. What is XRP used for? You can quickly find out just how truly useful it is and how its technical attributes are stunning compared to so many others. Also, I got a follow-up on a story that I shared a couple days ago having to do with an article written by Roslyn Layton, Dr. Roslyn Layton, who has been covering the SEC v. Ripple case for 2 years, writing for Forbes. After her most recent article went up a few days ago, it was short-lived. The article was up for, I don't know, maybe a few hours, 2-3 hours, something like that. It was a real short time period. And so, not surprisingly, when it went down, the XRP community noticed, and I made a video where I was covering it. And I was like, well, somebody had screen grabs. I was able to share the article with you on the channel here. And I said, I don't know why this happened. And so I'm still not privy to the specifics, but I can tell you this here now. It is outright censorship by Forbes, unquestionably at this point. And we know that thanks to a comment from Roslyn Layton herself. Also, there's been another SEC settlement, so I thought I'd share with you that story as well. But before going further ado, to be clear, I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so here's the first story. Here's the headline from you today. CEO trashes XRP and Cardano. Are they really worth nothing? And I've been holding both of those cryptocurrencies since late 2017. I'm going to focus on XRP here, but the nonsense spouted here and not backed up, it's truly astonishing. So check this out. Estimi CEO Lay Drojan has come out strongly against 2 of the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap, XRP and Cardano. And I'm just going to go straight to the actual tweet, and this is what the CEO shared with their 17,200 followers. There's still $20 billion and $14 billion of completely, utterly useless market cap tied up in XRP and Cardano, respectively, in the top 5 coins. In the next cycle, that's going to flow to stuff that actually works and matters. And again, I always find this rich because XRP is absolutely, unquestionably one of the most adopted and useful coins on the entire damn planet. Now, obviously, there's the most well-known use case of XRP as a bridge currency, and if you just look at that adoption, as reported by Ripple, up substantially year over year, that represents real value. That's a piece of the XRP ecosystem. That's a reason that people have confidence in XRP. There are lots of reasons. It's about the totality of the ecosystem. But even right there, even with just the one use case, it's clear it's not going away. And it shouldn't be from all its technical. It's the best crypto on the damn planet for for payments, just in a general sense. You know, settlement with finality in a matter of just a few seconds. And it's been so adopted for so long, for a decade now, that it has something you can't program into it, which is actual liquidity, which is important for specific use cases. So then there's that as well. And then you've got firms. We learned about a bunch of firms, thanks to the SEC v. Ripple case, as bad as the nonsense SEC lawsuit is. There are all sorts of, there were like, what, 15 pro XRP amicus briefs filed, roughly. And so we found out about tap jets, which solved what they call the Friday nights problem, is that you can actually, charter private jets, even when banks are closed, because before that, if you didn't have the funds lined up, it was literally impossible because you have to pay in advance. That problem is literally solved by XRP. And the firm that tap jets noted to the judge, if XRP can't be used, it will financially harm their company, directly impact them. So this case is highly consequential for them. What about spin the bits? Utilizing the XRP ledger, and XRP is required for this as a piece of the puzzle, of course. You can move Bitcoin, an IOU, a tokenized representation of Bitcoin, on the XRP ledger. And I've talked about the publicly available information about how that operation works. Now, if you're anti-Bitcoin, I don't know, is this person anti-Bitcoin too? That'd be stupid as hell. this actually, like, the XRP ledger is helping assure the long-term viability of Bitcoin and vice versa. That's cool as hell here. And so those are just a few examples. And then you've obviously got what's going on in the world of NFTs. The amount of NFT activity after the XLS 20 minute passed in just late last year, it's just been through the roof. So we'll see what happens with NFTs, but that's an aspect of crypto that's going to just increasingly be adopted. So I'm sorry, what part of the XRP ecosystem, especially even just off the top of my head, the handful of things I said here, which parts are not useful, which are utterly useless? And so people are just going to stop recognizing the actual utility because this individual says such a thing to almost 20,000 people. And then what? Like, come on. It's completely absurd. There are almost no cryptocurrencies that solve any real problems for any real people. And then, on top of that too, you can use XRP in place of money because it actually works and settles with finality in a matter of seconds. How about that use case? People do that. Like, it's the most absurd damn thing. So anyway, when I see crap like this, I just have a strong desire to push back against it. If there was some sort of thoughtful critiques against XRP, I always encourage it. That's fine. But to just say nonsense crap like this and then not back it up because you don't have a winning argument, well, do what you want to do. You do you, but you're wrong. And people can see through it. You have piss poor arguments because you're just making bogus nonsense statements. Then there's this from the Crypto Basic. Forbes contributor thanks XRP Army published censored article criticizing SEC elsewhere. And so there was the article, and I covered it in its entirety the other day. Roslyn Layton, again, been writing for Forbes, covering the SEC v. Ripple case over 2 years at this point. I love her articles. I've covered every single one of them. Well, again, this most recent one was up for just a couple hours, whatever it was. And it was titled actually, I don't know if this is the original title. I do have it here. Time to Unseal the Hinman Documents. I think it had a different title. Actually, I'm certain of it. But maybe that's because of some sort of concern about that title is now somehow the property of Forbes. I don't know. I don't know. But it was talking about, it's talking about how Ripple's being treated in a notably and obviously unfair way compared to like Ethereum, for example. And so it points this out, and this article came out on the same day that Roslyn Layton has actually the attorney did it on her behalf, wrote a letter to Judge Torres in the SEC v. Ripple case seeking to intervene to have the Hinman documents, the 2018 Ethereum Free Pass speech, to have that revealed, shared with the public, and she articulated the reason why that is important. And Forbes had it up, and then they took that article down. And so I was like, I don't know the reason. Either way, they're silencing, the truth. The truth should be getting out there, and the perspective should be heard. So I didn't like it either way, but I said, I don't know if it's, intentional censorship, this or that. And again, we're not privy to all the inside baseball stuff, but it was Forbes that took her article down. It's not like Roslyn Layton took this damn thing down. How do we know this? Well, there was this tweet after it was taken down by Roslyn Layton thanking the XRP Army because we were all pushing back against this nonsense. Forbes it's just a disservice to the public what they did here. And so Roslyn Layton tweeted out, "Dear XRP Army, thank you for the interest and support. Sunshine is the best disinfectant. Thank you." And then the article is now live on a website I'm not familiar with called DC Journal. So same article, different headline, different title, but it's up now. So what is with this? Is it because she somehow intervened and it was against some sort of policy? Even if so, you should be transparent if you're Forbes and articulate what's going on here. But even if that's the case, because both those things happened on the same day, I still find that to be ridiculously silly. The article said it's very similar, actually, to what was filed, in the SEC v. Ripple case. Is it the case that she's not allowed to write about it because she's seeking to intervene? That would be a stupid policy. That really would be a dumbass policy. So I don't know for sure. But it was real censorship, very obviously. So just calling it out, Forbes, you're going to do something like this? Fine, we're going to talk about it, though, and it's not good for you. It's not a good look. And then we've got this from the Crypto Basic. Former NBA star settles with SEC over Ethereum Max promotion. So this is the one that Kim Kardashian was also swatted down by the SEC for doing, where she promoted this Ethereum Max coin. By the way, both these individuals promoted this coin, Ethereum Max, But they did acknowledge that it was an ad. They just didn't cite how much money they were being paid, and the SEC came after them for that. So looks like they both settled because they figured that would be the cheaper, path to resolve all this. The path of least resistance. But that's what the SEC does. That's their MO. It's just to make a bunch of BS nonsense reasons. If you actually want to fight, you want to clear your name, and you want to win, even if you're right, it's going to cost you an absurd amount of money and years of your life and sanity. So I understand why people want to tap out if given the opportunity. So anyway, check this out. NBA Hall of Famer Paul Pierce has agreed to settle with the United States Securities and Exchange Commission for $1.4 million for touting Ethereum EMAX tokens. According to an announcement yesterday, the SEC said Pierce promoted Ethereum Max on Twitter without disclosing that he was paid the sum of $244,000 to do so. The SEC noted that the former NBA player tweeted misleading statements about EMAX, including sharing a screenshot of an account holding many tokens. The rationale behind the effort was to convince potential investors that he had a large amount of EMAX to lure them into purchasing the cryptocurrency. However, Pierce's EMAX holdings were relatively lower than what he shared on Twitter, the statement read. The SEC added that Pierce also shared a link to a website that contains instructions on how potential investors can purchase EMAX. So look, if he was intentionally doing misleading things, okay, fine. So I'm not saying that I can't get behind something like that, but in the case in particular of what happened with Kim Kardashian, that actually was not the case. They're just, so why did they go after Kim Kardashian? For the publicity, the name. Kim Jong-Gensler knew, suing Kim Kardashian, that would indeed be the case. So it's, if there's something misleading here, I'm not saying that I forgive the snaky aspect of it, but look at the SEC's behavior. The SEC's behavior, to me, frankly, especially with everything that we've learned about how they operate over the last couple of years, is repulsive to me. Anyway, Peace continues. While Pierce did not deny or admit the SEC findings, he agreed to pay $1.409 million in disgorgement and penalty to settle with the securities regulator. In addition, Pierce also agreed not to promote crypto asset securities in the next 3 years. So, is what it is. I just thought I'd share with you real quickly the latest, bump along the road and what it is to the SEC to be participating in the world of crypto here. And it's a complete and utter train wreck. But them's the breaks. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Family Sedan.